Sorry about that. Hello, greetings, welcome. All that good stuff. Yeah, I've just kind of been sat logged in for about, about an hour. And see AFK. Get started, shall we? May not seem like it, but we've been planning this for far longer than I care to admit. Each time we woke up, we'd have a long discussion about how to save as many of you as we can. Felt like everyone had an opinion on this or that. But the one thing we all agreed upon was that the people of Aetheris wouldn't take action to save themselves until it was far too late. That's why we're striving to make the moon as a vibrant, magical place that Hop had the chance to visit, rather than waiting for the flames of oblivion to get them off their tails and force them to accept our invitation. The residential quarters may not be up to the necessary standards just yet, but there are plenty of other places worth seeing. You already had a look around the Caratorium, but wait till you see what's waiting for you at the end of the east of the borough. At the east end of the borough. Follow me. Oh, it's back down. Hop. Good, you're here. Through this door is the greatest ends veil. It was named as such because it's a veil at the end of all as a veil to end all veils. The most beautiful forest you'll ever see. We understand that people of Aetheris enjoy taking leisurely walks through natural spaces and the like, so I'm sure you'll enjoy it. How about we start with a nice stroll to the fountain? This way. I really hope it looks good. It's going to be a carrot forest, isn't it? Oh, See, I was expecting, you know, leaves. Actual trees. Some, you know, grass. This is 100% different to what I was expecting. At least I've got water. That's like a third of what I was expecting here. So, what do you think of the forest? Isn't it positively pleasant? Simply sublime? See any? Wait, I think those crystals out there. Right, you are. Our forest is made of crystals and constructs, dotting the landscape as far as the eye can see. Building this place was a challenge, let me tell you. Since we were born here, we've never seen trees in person, let alone a forest. The information sent by our collaborators was quite enlightening, but after much deliberation we decided to use crystalline constructs in place of living trees, and thanks to our atmospheric circulation system, this place produces air as clean as you'd find in the forest on Aetheris. The fountain here beside us, powered by the rather large crystal adorning its top, plays a vital role in supplying us fresh water. Huh. much time and effort was spent making most of the spherical, most spherical of spheres. I dare say their unparalleled roundness speaks for itself. It's got little cons, but enjoyed nothing more than a nice long stretch and a spot of relaxation whenever I come up here. You look like you do with a stretch yourself. Alright. Stretch. That's a spirit. I feel more relaxed simply watching you. A sight worth the many years spent building this place. It's not too much to ask. It's always been a dream of mine to take a walk through the forest with someone from Etheris. Could we maybe... You will? Oh, be still, my quivering whiskers. Alright. Go down to the path we can walk through together. Little bunny man. I was thinking, that I could be more helpful to you by teaching you a little about the moon, what it is we do. When we were first created, the moon's sole purpose was to hold Zodiac, and there was absolutely nothing to be found here. Eventually, Heidland gave us our first task. Furnish the moon with propulsion systems capable of facilitating travel to other stars. It sounds impressive, and I suppose in some respects it is. But it was only possible thanks to all the knowledge Heidland shared with us. We also had a lot of time to get it done. 6,000 years, give or take. Anyway, let's keep going. Right, that'll be the story one. I want to see what's over here. I'll probably explain like what that is. Can I remember? What? No, I'm not sure what it is you do with crystals on the Theris, but we don't eat them. Certainly not this one. Test of all 6 elements: wind, lightning, fire, earth, ice, and water. We use crystal like these to maintain the moon's elemental equilibrium. Worth noting that because of Heidland's influence, being the embodiment of tranquility and stasis, manipulating the elements here is different than it might be on Etheris. The conjuring of fire would sooner dry your clothes than singe them, for example. Put simply, the etheric conditions are ill-suited to growth. That's why the surface is mostly barren. Of course, this was all necessary to keep the raging energies of Zodiac in check. I realised I was going to ask if you can take the test the rainbow. Look at that though. Wonderful. This may come as a surprise, but we didn't begin building the habitable areas until after the propulsion systems were ready. Considering how long it took, I wish we'd started sooner. I would have thought we'd need 4,000 years to make all this. It certainly wasn't work you dare rush either. We had to create infrastructure and countless supporting systems, some of which wouldn't be operational until hundreds of years later. Then there was that brief period where all our productivity came to a screeching halt. A bizarre red satellite was sent up from Etheris. Elgin's mischief, I think. But maybe some new, nefarious actor was colluding with Zodiac. All we could do was stand by and brace ourselves for the worst. What's that noise? I can't tell you how relieved we were when Heidland informed of its destruction. Oh yes, there was much joyous humming that day. Say, do you notice anything peculiar about the treetops? I mean, apart from the fact they're massive crystals, not trees. I'll give you a hint. It's the golden rings emanating from the glowing spheres. Along with a device fixed near the ceiling, they fulfill a similar role to our sun, and do so better even. The sun and similar celestial objects in the great expanse radiate energy that is harmful to your bodies. These rings shield you from that energy whilst also allowing you to bathe in the perfect amount of sunlight, or rather, a close approximation of it. Pretty impressive, wouldn't you say? Oh, and if you look closely, you'll see different types of trees, with ever so slightly different curvature. Yes, indeed, this forest truly is the greatest. Why am I looking at these trees? Or are these supposed to be trees? I'm not sure if it's just supposed to be these, or if it's these and these. Like, those definitely look more like trees. But these are also green, so... Well, actually, not only are these green, but they also said that the rings were coming from the top of them. There was something else I wanted to tell you about. Oh, right. The propulsion system and the habitat facilities were completed around 2,000 years ago. But with that, the most important features were fit for purpose. Which was all well and good. Except we still knew absolutely nothing about the present-day people of Etheris. Why not go and visit Etheris yourself, you might ask? Strictly forbidden. Were our technology or knowledge of the moon's true purpose exploited for evil ends, the result would be disastrous. When there were a few more rejoinings, it became increasingly difficult to converse with Heidelin. Fearful we might lose the ability to communicate with her altogether, we beseeched her to find people on Etheris we could trust to help. We were quite fortunate, everything worked out as it did. So this just has me thinking that maybe they got in contact with Sharlayan, but they would have more up-to-date stuff if it was the people of Sharlayan that they got in contact with. I'm not entirely sure who they got in contact with. I suppose we'll find that out later. With the exception of routine inspections and maintenance, I remained asleep and waited. Hopeful Heidelin would find someone who would help us. Eventually she did. Through her power, though her power was waning, we were able to speak to them directly for a short while. Shared with them everything we could, including our knowledge of the heavens and a means to travel here to the moon. They certainly didn't waste any time on what we taught them. No more than a few years after that, our collaborators found a means to convey messages and supplies to us from down below. With all the letters, books, and other resources they sent, we learned enough to start making more meaningful changes to the moon. And now you're here, hopefully enjoying yourself as much as I am. I knew you'd like the greatest Ensvale, I knew it. Thanks again for coming here, by the way. I know it was just a walk through the forest, but it meant a lot to me. There you are. I take it you've received the grand tour? A shame we've missed it. Growing Way, I've been looking all over for you. Oh, is this about the teleporter to the residential area? No, never mind that. We have more pressing matters at hand. We're calling an emergency meeting shortly, and your attendance is required. Really? Can't imagine why you'd need me there, but if you insist. Won't be long. So, You are all more than welcome to continue looking at the burrow. Now, come along, Growing Before we arrived, you seemed in the midst of a rousing conversation with your guide. Did you learn anything of import? Well, they've been working at this for like 6,000 years. Oh, it's been 12,000. I thought it was 6,000. They spent 12,000 years preparing for this. You pointed out how fast approaching. It can certainly understand their restlessness, but still. It remains to be seen if the people can be persuaded to evacuate when they get signs of the final days. What's more, the technology of this place defies imagination. I don't know. Did not even mean to click that. This is where we pause it on the thing. Sorry, that was my Windows noise. Pause it on my phone and I can check that. What's more, the technology of this place defies imagination. I doubt there are many who would readily come to terms with living in such surroundings. Whoever these collaborators are, unless they're possessed. Oh. Sorry, my Windows noise again. Unless they're possessed of the world's most charming personalities or means to forcibly evacuate people, they will meet with a great deal of resistance. Indeed, even if faced with annihilation, the decision to forsake all one knows cannot be made lightly. And make it they must. Forgive me, friends, but I must beg of your leave. There is another matter which yet begs mine attention. Of course, we can accompany you if you like. Nay, that will not be necessary, if you'll excuse me. He's joining them at that emergency meeting, isn't he? It's clear now that a difficult decision lie ahead of us. Preparation for the evacuation of Aetheris is indeed crucial. But I'm not yet willing to forsake our world and its reflections. And I trust I'm not alone in my reticence. Did Oriandre seem strange to you? More so than usual, I mean. I know he's a penchant for keeping his own counsel, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't worried. Go see if he's alright. Ishola and I will remain here and see what else we can learn about the final days. If you hurry, perhaps you can catch up to him. It's like, hey dude, I heard you chat with the bunny people earlier. Well, part of it anyway. Like a little park. Slides built specifically for those bunny people. Warren way. I love all the little references that you get in here. Carrots. It's what's for dinner. And then Oriandre, are you downstairs or are you upstairs? Either. I need to wait for you at the designated location. Wonderful. Oriandre appears to be headed towards the entrance to Bestway Burrow. Yeah, I was starting to get a bit of a cold this morning, but I got some carrot soup from a nearby Polish restaurant and beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, good. There we go. Oh, nice. XP through gathering and through battle is increased. Going, sir. Ranjay ventures off into Mare Mentorum for reasons unknown. Must tread carefully, else he might sense your presence. Why do they have to add stealth mechanics? Right, I'm not entirely sure where I could even hide here. Be able to turn around. God, that's going to be an awful one. Alright. Oh god, this is gonna suck. Right, how far does he go? That far? Okay, cool. Wait for him to start walking again, then we'll run up here, hide behind this rock. No, why would you start sprinting? Oriandre! Oriandre, no! Oriandre! He's gonna stop again now. Please stop. Must have been the wind. Oriandre, seriously, it's difficult to keep up with you when you run on like this. Alright, what have they tasked you with, my friend?
Thine arrival is timely as ever. Thou didst chance to overhear my conversation with Livingway, I presume?
Just a little bit.
'Twas not mine intent to move in shadow. Nevertheless, I have been asked to do that and more yet again. Is it so plain that these strangers could intuit it at a glance? My capacity for silence and secrecy and duplicity? When Grahatir did contrive to deliver the first at the price of his own life, I was complicit in the scheme. A sacrifice averted for a mercy. Would that I could say the same for Menphilia. One life for one world. And by that bloody bargain brokered by my hand were the scions robbed of a dear comrade, and Flamine her beloved daughter. Two souls, whose selflessness was beyond measure, whose resolve was unshakable. They would not be moved even had I thought to protest. But protest I did not. Far from it. I pushed them forward. No effort did I make to seek out alternatives, ones that would not demand such terrible costs. That resignation weigheth heavy on my mind, as does the memory of another lost to mine inaction. Dearest Moonbringer, who did face death unflinching, that we might secure a means to bring low the Ascians. In her hour of need, I did naught. Dutiful disciple of Louisoix, ever looking to the greater good. Had I shut mine eyes and bid her live instead, mayhap she would be with us today. Selfish wants, born of everlasting regrets. Most days I put them from my mind, but could think of naught else when asked to swallow the same bitter draught. Subterfuge and sacrifice. Mayhap the right moral choice, but one I regard with great trepidation. The calamity of Amarot was a tragedy beyond reckoning, one which must never again come to pass. Thus must we struggle, haunted by ghosts of those we have lost, clinging to those we pray we can yet save. But what of those we cannot? How do we make peace with the dreadful algebra of necessity?
Yeah, sometimes there is no right answer. Do everything right and still come out at a loss.
I am not alone in my discomfort, then?
Not all, my friend.
'Tis surprising, though perhaps not. We Scions are wont to debate strategy at length, but are resolute and unwavering in execution. Strange. Scarcely can I remember when last we spoke alone, and so candidly. I thank thee. For all my supposed skill with words, I find it difficult to express such private thoughts. As for the Loporrit's proposition, I will take time and consider how to respond. 'Twould be to our mutual benefit if we could converse more openly with our aspiring caretakers. A concern I should be glad to address on the Scion's behalf. To dispense with all pretense and bare one's heart to another is a frightening thing indeed. But we cannot move forward ere we take that bold first step. A lesson I have learned many times before. And today.
What are they saying? Curse these ears! I've had bugger all! No matter. We've got our plans.
Are you up to your creepy little things? What do you want with me? In truth, my reason for travelling hither was to effect a plan of mine own. A plan which may pave a way forward for us all. May, I say, for there is no guarantee of its success. 'Tis the reason I set out alone. That failure, should it come, would be mine to bear alone. Yet thou standest before me, with proffered hand and open heart. It would be remiss of me to refuse thy amity, and so I ask, wouldst thou join me in mine endeavour? Heck yeah! Just let me pop on my new shoes. Look at those new shoes, they're snazzy. Like, genuinely, I think I might I have any glamour dispellers. I've got a crap ton, okay. When we get the full set of this, so I just need the gloves and the helmet. I'm going to glamour dispel all of them. There's the gloves. I thank thee for accompanying me. It is a simple plan, in truth. We should not be long from the Bestways Borough. Should not be long away from Bestways Borough. Difficult decisions must need be made in the coming days, but I nevertheless believe that we are of one mind in our desire to save the people of Etheirys. To make clear our resolve to the Leporites, I would offer them a gift, but its making doth require a most singular ingredient. Is it moon cheese? Are we going to make moon cheese? You know what I might do? What I'm going to do is I'm going to remove Glamour Play Link. And actually I'm going to just... if we're class Glamour, remove. Okay. Click on that one, click remove. Look how cool that looks. That is snazzy. I'm really happy with how this looks. Ah, an abundance of spongoi. Excellent. I chanced to spy this aggregation when crossing Zodiac's erstwhile prison. Using a spell taught to me by the Numo, I believe these shall suffice for the gift I would fashion. The magic requires considerable concentration, however. Might I prevail upon thee to stand watch whilst I perform the incantation? Come on, Birdo. Let's defend our buddy. Those are kind of cute, kind of creepy. No, a weird, creepy, cute look to him. I thought it's like more enemies and there's like one. You know what? I need to just sort something out real quick. Action traits. I need to pop that back on my bow. In fact, just to make it safer, I'll pop it over there. Oh, there's another thing to click on. Whoops. Surveying the nearby area, you see no sign of potential threats. This would be a good opportunity to see how Oriandre is faring. Oriandre remains fixated on his work. Look how cool this is. There, it is done. A magicked ink. Every on is as efficacious as that crafted by the Numo. Rare is the occasion I would conjure mine own, but nevertheless, most useful skill. The resulting product is admittedly possessed of no preternatural properties, but its hue is one of mine own choosing, which I pray the Leporites will appreciate. It's empty, Oriandre! Oh, thank goodness, I thought you'd been eaten. Well, perhaps a fallen into a crater. Ishtola has been looking all over for you. She says she needs to speak with you about something most urgent. Dire, even. It's also quite weird that she wishes to speak with Samtidi alone, which means I'm afraid you must stay behind, Orianji. Worry not, it just so happens we need your help with an errand. Delivering a package from the Watcher's Palace in Debestways Borough. Quite large and heavy, perhaps even too heavy for we poor Laportes. But we would be ever so grateful if you would lend us a hand. How about an extra pair of hands before I come meet with you, Ishtola? No, that won't be necessary. Orianji's help should more than suffice. I'm sure you don't want to risk getting on Ishtola's bad side by keeping her waiting. She seems prickly. Now, off with you. Worry not. It shan't be long. Don't trust those little rabbits. I completely forgot to click play on the thingy. You know, it was shortly after I got this. But I'm pretty sure me and my friends stopped doing the runs. I don't remember exactly why. I might bump that down a smidge actually. I can't hear this music without thinking of I think it was Jesse Cox's I want to say 100,000 video. Yeah, well, I'm actually just going to double check that because I want to make sure that I'm actually getting the right thing. Jesse Cox. No, it wasn't that one. 100. Yeah, I think it was 1000 video from like 10 years ago. Like, he had a bit of a video with his like troll shaman and Ragnaros. And like it done like yield Final Fantasy style. Oh, that'll be ether current. I actually completely forgot about ether currents being a thing. Whoops. I'm gonna get back and they're gonna be like, I didn't actually want to speak with you. Oh, we thought you would be away for far longer. Dire emergency? I said no such thing. But as you are here, we could use your assistance with one small matter. Runningway, a companion of Growingway, apparently has much to tell us of the final days. The problem, however, is that he is determined to live up to his name, refusing to stand still long enough to hold us a conversation. Is there any way he's likely to stop and rest? Or perhaps as a way to slow him down? What's the rush? I was thinking we should wait here, maybe enjoy a cold mug of carrot juice and... No? Well, if it's really that important, you could try using these balls of moose flesh. Not to be confused with the other thing. Anyways, a notable feature is incessant chatter. You'll have no trouble finding him in the crowd. When you do, try lobbing your balls at him. Rude, but if it proves effective. He was here in Great Ensvale when I last saw him. Let's split up and find him. Alrighty. I love how like chill this music is for Bismarck. You set your surroundings from running away. We move the camera as well as you zoom in and zoom out. Wow. Find running away. Yeah. Pachow. Ow, that's smart. This was meant to be a joke, it isn't funny. Yes, I'm running away. You mind explaining why you hit me in the face with your balls of moose flesh? I'm highly knowledgeable about the final days. It's the most ridiculous thing I've heard since I woke up. I told you that joke. As if we got the time to look into the final days when there's so much to do before the great voyage. It's true that Highland did impart some knowledge of the event, but know about as much as any Lepore around here, less probably. I don't know why everyone thinks it's funny to go around telling people I'm an expert. But they better hope I don't get my paws on them. Sorry I couldn't be of more help, but is there anything else? If there's nothing else, sorry, I've got work to do. Hand him off. Meow. I'm guessing it was probably Livingway that said that they're an expert. Because if they're difficult to keep up with, that would give Livingway more time to try and execute whatever plan that they're trying to do with Oriange. Find neither hide nor hair of him. How did you fare? Well, I smacked him in the face with my balls of moose flesh. So he knows no more than the others. Can you explain yourself, Grunway? Well, you see, I misremembered. Yes, that's it. I misremembered. Terribly sorry about that. I'm afraid I'm drawing a blank, though. Right, I can't remember who I was thinking of. On an unrelated note, what of Oriange? I assume you spoke with him earlier. But did he say when he'd be returning? On his way to the Watcher's Palace with Livingway. Between Growingway's sudden lapse of memory and our lack of other leads, maybe it's time we spent maybe our time would be better spent lending Oriange a hand. But what? Now hold on a moment. It's all coming to me. Yes, I remember. The information you're looking for is in the archives. Yes, that's where you'll find all sorts of useful knowledge, including the obtaining of the final days. if you have archives, you could have just started with that, mate. Oh no. When I change the hat, the mask's gonna disappear. We'll just have to bring it back in later. Part of the matter. Runway's fidgeting with nervous energy. Is it from excitement or worry? Oh, what to do, what to do. I promised Livingware would help, but... No, I promised I'd help, so that's what I'll do. The archives are on the second floor on the main plaza. The eastern wing. Follow me. I suspect the Laportes are up to something. If there's aught to be learned from the final days, I think it's best we play along. For now, at least. I'm gonna need to start upgrading these pretty soon. $500's nice and all, but no, it's not what it could be. It's not quite 533, is it? I'm assuming that it'll be a cutscene around here because there's not really anywhere to go this way. Read nothing on the map. The archives are right through this door, but it seems to be locked. So we'll just have to find whoever has the key. Growing enough. We have naught else to tell us of the final days. You need to only say so. We can ill afford to be wasting time here, as you well know. Did you yourselves not tell us we must act quickly? Yes we did, but the moon was to be a perfect paradise for the people of Aetheris, and we're running out of time to make sure everything's ready for their arrival. We hoped you'd see the wonders we have to offer, but we found nothing but faults and flaws within our work. Only one of you saw our potential, so the others must be kept here. Ah, so that's Livingware's game. Run us about in circles, and failing that, lock us away so we can't put the planet at risk. Everyone except Oriandre understands what's at stake, what must be done. I fear you've misjudged us, Growing. Never have we decried the notion of using the moon as a means of escape. That said, my heart breaks at the thought of abandoning Aetheris and her reflections to the doom. If there is a way to avert the final days, I wish to find it and try. We may fail, but our efforts would never be at the expense of your plans. Why would you take that risk? There's no room for ifs and maybes now. The people of Aetheris will be able to escape here to the moon, they'll be safe, and we'll finally be able to see their happy, smiling faces. Sorry, but we can't let you leave. We just can't. Do what you must, but try not to hurt them. I'll be back in a moment. Don't do anything rash while I'm gone. If we dally, they'll overwhelm us with sheer numbers. I say we knock these ones out, split up and make our way to the exit. Agreed. Let's reconvene where Argos awaits outside. The magical book of dreams. Why you gotta do this? Yeah, all you had to do, literally all you had to do is trust us. It's one of those situations where like, they want to help, nice, cool, thanks. But kinda don't need that much help that you would need to interfere with what I'm doing. I mean, it is kind of my fault that this plan got into action in the first place, but that's one side. Yeah. They're just like, right, we need to do this for the safety of everyone. We're here. We must hurry to the Watcher's Palace and find Oriandre.
And what, pray tell, do we seek at the Watcher's Palace?
Oh, come off it, friend. You know full well why we're here. The time has come for you to return to Etheris and help your brethren prepare for their journey here and beyond.
Forgive me, Living Way, but I cannot in good conscience proceed with this plan.
Huh? But what about the final days? The death and the doom? Oh, we have to hurry before it's too late.
Your unflagging commitment to your duty is endearing, to say the least.
Oh, bugger!
Be at ease. They bear you no grudge, nor do I. How could we, having come to understand your purpose? For millennia, you and yours worked tirelessly towards the singular purpose of this heavenly vessel's construction. An arduous feat by any measure. 'Tis clear you have spared no effort. Why, your very names are a testament to your dedication.
Our names? I'm not sure I understand what you're getting at.
Names are an expression of the self. a declaration of one's hopes and aspirations. Your use of contemporary, uncomplicated nomenclature doth ensure clarity of purpose. There can be no doubt that your love for the people of Aetheris is boundless and pure.
Yes! Yes! A most mellifluous praising! We Loporrits were born of Hydaelyn's love for Aetheris. That shining, shimmering blue jewel, brightest star in the sky, brimming with life and possibilities. For as long as I can remember, I've toiled in anticipation of the day when this vessel might be needed. All I've ever wanted was to meet those she cherished so dearly, to serve and serve well. That goes for all of us, don't you see? So help us. Help us help them. Lead them here where we can keep them safe. If there's anything wrong with what we've built, we'll fix it. We'll make it right.
Your works want not for repair. Yet there remaineth much for you to learn of men and your own kin besides. Singing Way, thy name bespeaketh more than the simple marriage of rhythm and rhyme. The songs of Aetheris are beyond counting, and span the length and breadth of emotion. Maps are monuments to man's pioneering spirit and his devotion to charting the furthest reaches of our star. Many have devoted their lifetimes to exploratory pursuits, to venture unto the highest mountains and the deepest oceans in search of unknown frontiers. And thou, my friend, I do not think we've met.
My name is Puddingway.
Puddingway? Yes, indeed. A name of deep and abiding significance, I'm sure, but one perhaps better communicated through delicious deeds than tasteless words. A judicious application of fey magics at a later juncture may be appropriate. And Living Way. 'Tis no easy feat to convey the significance of thy moniker. When I was a bookish boy, a dear friend of mine was fond of peppering me with questions as I read, to my occasional annoyance. One day, I posed to her a question of mine own. What doth it mean to live? After much contemplation, she proffered this answer. The anticipation of a half-read story's conclusion. The hope today's mistake may serve as tomorrow's lesson. The wish that a new acquaintance may one day call thee friend. She believed it to be all these moments and more.
I want to understand, but
I, too, still labor to find mine own answer. 'Twould be my pleasure to assist you and yours in embarking on a journey of self-discovery and enlightenment. For thee. Ink as blue as the waters of Aetheris. Made in haste, though I assure thee, the quality has not suffered for it. The people need not be persuaded by honeyed words. Nay, I have faith they shall do what is right in due course. Until they do, I beg your patience, friends. And with that ink, let us fill the empty pages of Living Way's compendium. An open exchange of ideas will surely afford you all a better understanding of modern man, and with it, ideas for improvements and renovations. But more importantly, it shall empower us to together find a way forward.
I hope you're right. Thank you for this lovely gift.
There you have it. I shall remain with the Loporrits to ensure that all is in order.
But we still won't let you go.
Though we must needs prepare for every eventuality, you would all agree that the evacuation of our star is a last resort. To accept failure is to accept the demise not only of our star, but that of Reen's, of all reflections, and the souls that call them home. Which is why I have every faith that you shall fight to the last, that such drastic measures may prove unnecessary.
Should the worst come to the worst, and I pray deeply that it won't, I'll take comfort in knowing preparations were made under your watchful eye.
Aye, thou mayest be assured that if calamity cometh, not a soul will be left behind, if being the operative term.
The flower? How came it into your possession? Oh, Heidling kind of gave it to me. Oh, very like her. Guided by its light, you may come to know her true intentions. Intentions which remain a mystery even to us. In our time, we called it Elpis. You would do well to remember the name.
I hate to interrupt, but I feel like I need to make amends for all the secrecy.
Think nothing of it. We haven't been the most gracious of guests. Do convey our apologies to Growingway and the others.
But of course! And when next we welcome more guests from Atheris, we'll have learned to be much more hospitable hosts. Oh, and circling back to the matter of inappropriate secrecy, we ought to discuss our benefactors.
Is it Sharlayan?
Agreed. The Sharlayan Forum, yes?
What? How did you know?
Okay, yeah, okay.
The more I heard, the more obvious it became. The Forum's aims align closely with those of your anonymous patrons. A telling coincidence would be an understatement. Though had we not taken it upon ourselves to peruse certain restricted tones in Labyrinthos, we might still be unaware of their plans. But let us continue this discussion upon our return. I dare say we have kept Alphino and the others waiting long enough.
Okay, so Urianger going to be out of action for a little while because he'll just be up here. So if we have any dungeons, then Urianger won't be selectable as a healer. It was a relief, seeing Livingway was pleased with my gift of ink. Serve and serve well. Though their knowledge may be lacking, their boundless love is a blessing without peer. It will be no easy task to prepare them for what needs to be done, but gladly do I embrace this duty. even if it doth necessitate that we part ways for a time. Forgive me my absence, but I have the utmost faith in you, in all our fellow scions. When next I return to Etheirys, I pray I find you all in good health and in good spirits. The Laportes with Oriandre's cape, with the Laportes in the with the Laportes in Oriandre's capable hands, we needn't worry about affairs here in our absence. I can read, yes. Knowing the faith of their earthly collaborators, there is much to discuss with Alphino and the others. Let's return to the Tower of Babel. Oh, let's return to the Tower of Babel. A battle of the for the Star will soon begin in earnest. We must be prepared. I'm guessing that now we can be like, yeah, we're at the final days with you, and I'm gonna be like, alright. I guess that makes sense as to why they were like, yeah, if we were in the final days, we'd know. That looks. Is that just a? It is. It's Nightball. I can scarcely believe that we went to the moon and back. But we'll have time to reflect on that later. Right now, we need to head back to Camp Broken Glass and deliver a thoroughly detailed report to Lucia. I'd like very much to know how everyone is getting on there as well. We'd only just begun to treat the tempered prisoners when we left. I share your curiosity, but warning our allies of the final days is of greater importance. I speak not only of the contingent, of course. The heads of state of every nation must know what we've learned. We know not when or where or in what manner the final days will begin to manifest, and so we must see to it that everyone is prepared. Agreed. Oh. Ah, fudge. Alright, gonna have to do the other method. Because I screwed up and accidentally clicked a second time. Need to make sure it's muted. Right. Make sure everyone's prepared. Just wait for that to go away. There we go. Agreed. Though we may wish to stress the importance of discretion, lest the public be sent into a panic. Not that anyone in a position of responsibility should need to be told as much, but bears repeating. Anyway, first things first, the Camp Broken Glass. Right. All the way down in the empty. Camp Broken Glass. Oh, that's awesome. My friend's just been accepted for another job, which is amazing. Proper happy for him. It's good to see you all again. No worse for your lunar adventure, I hope. Well, we've done about all we can for now. And believe me, we intend to tell you all about it. But before we do, might you tell us what will become of Garlemald in our absence? We succeeded in subduing the Tempered inside the Tower of Babel. We took many alive, but combined with those who were already in our custody, the number of requiring care has grown exponentially. Incitement conditions... Oh, no, the inclement conditions here have made it difficult, if not impossible, to treat them all here, so we've petitioned the aid of the Allied nations. Some are, understandably, hesitant to proffer assistance, particularly those that were but recently subject to imperial occupation. That said, several others have agreed to grant them refuge for treatment. With the assistance of your fellow scions, we endeavour to see them safely transported and subsequently cured of their tempering. Will all the tempered be relocated? Not all, no. We have sufficient shelter to attend to the most, to attend to those whose treatment has begun, and enough healers to have volunteered to remain until their patients have recovered. Eulus is one such patient, though he is not yet fit to receive visitors. Truth be told, it was a miracle he and those in his company were not harmed in the chaos. If not for Alphino and Alice's timely assistance, I dare say none of them would be with us today. In light of recent developments, have the Alliance leaders come to a decision regarding Garlemald? Given the tremendous ramifications of what has happened here, it will take time to determine what must be done. In the meantime, they intend to work with the Eastern Alliance to keep a close watch over the provinces. We have other news to share. Shortly after Animo was defeated, we received reports that each and every tower has vanished. From Mercy, the process was apparently not quite as violent as what you experienced in Thavner. Those who were trapped within them seem to have been rescued and receiving treatment. To hasten this endeavour, the Beast Tribes have received instruction in the magics needed to cure tempering. Master Matoya is no doubt thrilled that Mother Porksy affords us so many visitors. Yes, we are grateful for her ongoing efforts, as well as those of our comrades near and far. As for the contingent, several of our members have been granted leave to return to their homelands after the transfer of Tempered has been completed. Lucia and I will remain along with a small force to continue offering aid to those here in Garlemald. The Empire may be no more, but there are yet those who call these lands home. I believe that accounts for recent events here, so what of the moon and the Telophoroi? Final days. That's a pretty victory at the end of our troubles. Still much we do not know, but the Alliance leaders must be told. Would you be willing to contact them in our stead? Yes, of course. I'll send word forthwith. We'll also release your fellow Scion from their present duties that they may return to Sharlayan. Your energies are better spent finding means to avert the coming apocalypse. Speaking of your fellow Scions, you will be happy to hear Mistress Kryl, though still on the mend, has been moved to the Baldessian Annex and given into Tataro's care. Thank you. I look forward to seeing them both upon our return. Let us be on our way then. One last thing, if I may. After your confrontation with Zodiac, You said Xenos took his leave, and... Oop. And in all likelihood has returned here to Galmond. I have in mind to dispatch scouts, try to ascertain his whereabouts. But first wish to ask if you believe there is merit in doing so. If they found him, they likely wouldn't survive to tell the tale. I suppose you're right. Dispatch good soldiers in pursuit of such a beast. We'd send them to their deaths. Pray forget I entertained the notion. Oh, well, on the subject of Xenos, the 10th Legion has made an official proclamation. They denounce the Crown Prince and condemn his role in the Empire's downfall. His very title has become the source of shame among the former subjects, and its continued use serves only to hinder relations with foreign nations. For this reason, he has been declared as Xenos Viator Galvus, outcast and enemy of Galmond. Fandeniel is no more, and now his own people turn against him. Which is not but his bloodlust to keep him company. Better that than an army sated. At any rate, I will keep you no longer. Pray you safe passage back to Shalyn. Catch you later. Oh yeah, it's gonna slow walk me. Oh, literally all the way back there. Okay, fair enough. Back to old Shalyn. Might as well just hop off that. No, it's possible to breathe wrong. Ouch. Alright, Ethernet, Baldessian Annex. Away we go! Welcome back. So terribly worried about you. Though it is plain I have caused my own fair share of worry, and for that I apologize. Edelyn called out to me that day when you entered the Tower of Babel. Her pleas were faint but desperate, and I knew at once she required a vessel to carry out her will. What came after feels more like a dream a dream barely remembered. My body flowing through the life stream towards Galmold. When I regained consciousness, I was all aches and frostbite, exhausted of the ether. So exhausted, in fact, I could only laugh. For it was in that moment I understood Raha's weariness from the Tower of Zod. Would that I could laugh at a time like this. Though we prevented the Zodiac from being unleashed upon the world, I am curious what else took place up there on the moon. Perhaps we should wait for the others to join us before you give your account. Let's reconvene in the main hall once they've arrived. Sorry to keep you waiting. Not at all. I understand you've been quite busy. Will Oriancha be joining us? He's on the moon, talking with weird moon rabbits. Duty keeps him away, I'm afraid, though Semte can explain why better than I. Basically, moon rabbits. They've got him prisoner. I fought with a bunch of them, I did. Totally true story. The final days, as befell Amarot. And we're to escape via the moon? What of the source and its reflections? I have no intention of standing by while the world falls to ruin. So, how do we stop this? Unfortunately, we have no answers at present. If the celestial currents have grown stagnant, as was the case in the time of Amarot, the solution would be to alter the flow of ether throughout the entirety of the star. The ancients accomplished this by summoning Zodiac, sacrificing half the star's population in doing. But it should go without saying that such a sacrifice must not, cannot, be repeated. Which leaves us a very daunting task of identifying the underlying catalyst of the final days. A feat with which Amarotines could not accomplish. Unfortunately, we found no clues in Mare Lamentum on the torrent. Still much we don't know about the catastrophe itself, let alone what might have caused it. The final days were marked by the corruption of the Amarotines' creation magics. But we command no such power, which invites a question. What havoc is in store for us? If we knew that much, perhaps we could draw some parallel with the events of the past, and thereby form some semblance of a plan. Perhaps we should start with the Forum then. Having worked with the Laporites in secret all this time, surely there is surely more they can tell us. Give the interruption, but I have urgent news. The Forum is holding a public assembly in the plaza outside. Some sort of announcement. What is father up to this time? Oh, what is it up to now, I should say. There's only one way to find out. Bye! Like, do not be alarmed. End of days is coming. Bad things are happening. But worry not, for we shall be safe. Nice of him to wait until we arrived.
Order! Order, I say! I thank you all for gathering here on such short notice. This day we must speak of grave affairs and their implications for the future of Sharlayan, nay, of this very star. Said affairs concern all citizens, and so we have called for a public assembly. You may have heard rumors of the Telophoroi, and the havoc these madmen wreak abroad. Under normal circumstances, we would pay little heed to petty disturbances outside our borders. The final days, however, are another matter altogether. For we dare not ignore these prophetic words of Eld. The End-Bearers will come, ushering chaos and calamity. The final days descend and devour the very star.
I've never heard this prophecy.
Is it true? Will all that really happen?
Calm yourselves. The time has come to speak of the Forum's most sacred duties. But first...
Give voice to the voiceless. Let bindings be unbound. By unanimous decree, I declare the enchantment broken.
Master Leveilleur, if you would.
Very well.
"270 years ago, our forebears began an expedition in the Dravanian hinterlands, in search of a route to access the ethereal sea. This much is public knowledge. Their findings, however, would become the Forum's most closely guarded secret.
Alright.
What those researchers discovered in the hinterlands was not a passage unto the ethereal sea, but the very heart of our star, and Hydaelyn herself.
Oh.
She spoke to them of a calamity that would extinguish all life, and of a means by which we might be spared. The moon. 'Tis in truth a gargantuan vessel built to serve as sanctuary for her children and deliver them from this doom. Much like Nunkref's hope in ages past, it will bear the people of a world in the throes of death to a new home.
Needless to say, this will be no small undertaking. To facilitate the great work, the Forum has maintained close contact with the servants of Hydaelyn, who presently reside on the moon. Convinced that the foretold end was all but inevitable, we began amassing a wealth of knowledge, not merely for the betterment of our nation, but in preparation for the journey to come.
You reveal this to us now? By the gods, how long do we have?
While we cannot say with certainty, we believe the hour to be nigh. We received a transmission from the moon suggesting as much not long ago. Which is why we must in earnest begin preparations for the great exodus. For his impressive contributions and the leadership he demonstrated during our withdrawal from Dravania, we have elected Master Leveilleur to oversee this initiative.
Alrighty.
Fellow scribes and scholars, my countrymen, we face a threat of unprecedented scale. We must challenge the trials before us with composure and conviction if we are to find salvation. The wisdom of Sharlayan has ever been a shining beacon in the darkness, and so it shall continue to be. It is our solemn charge to see our heritage preserved for future generations. For those who will come after, we will brave a new frontier.
Administrative edicts will be relayed to all major institutions ere long. In the meantime, carry on with your duties. With that, I hereby call this assembly to a close.
So can we just like point at the guy and just be like, told you so? Wait, hey, Livia, told you. Oh no, it's not the end of days. We'd know it if it was.
Do you remember what Mother told us when we visited home? That it wasn't until after we were born that Father seemed to lose himself in his work. If that great work of his was the evacuation of this star, then...
Yes. It wasn't for his benefit. Would you mind waiting here a moment? I wish to speak with Father before we leave.
Yeah, go ahead. Take your time.
Thank you. I shan't be long.
If it's all the same to you, I have a few choice words to share with Father as well.
I mean, to be fair with the man, it's not like he could share any of this stuff anywhere due to the enchantment.
So, come to call us cowards and bid us join your fruitless battle against the inevitable.
Nay, we do not object to the Forum's proposal. On the contrary, those who wish to flee have every right to do so. Urianger is cooperating with your associates on the moon to ensure that all is ready should evacuation be our only recourse.
Then whatever your business, I suggest you be brief.
Though we cannot boast the boundless wisdom of Charlian, we have first-hand knowledge of foreign cultures and have conversed with no small number of peoples. These experiences have taught us fundamental truths that cannot be recorded in any tome, nor charted on any map. The beating heart of this planet is its people, many of whom would give anything, even their lives, to protect the lands they love. Many may choose to join you in the end. But what of those unwilling or unable, for whom escape will never be an option? What would you have them do? To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, Father. It is indolence. This is why we choose to fight.
We'll not ask for your understanding, Father. Only that you don't turn a blind eye to the good we have done. That we can still do. We're not children in need of protection. Hold fast to your principles and let the world burn if it please. But we believe there is still another way. And if there is, we will find it. You see if we don't.
Do as you will. Just stay out of our way.
Were he not so consumed with self-righteousness, he might tell you how proud he is of you both.
Bold words call for bold action. And there'll be no turning to your father should plans go awry.
As if I ever would. So long as there are those who wish to stay and fight for this star, we have to do what we can to help them.
Damn straight.
If we're to do that, we'll need to be well rested. Wouldn't you agree? Having triumphed over what we once thought to be the source of all evil, I can think of no one in greater need of at least a dozen winks.
I'll take 40 things.
Shall we then? To the Annex. To prepare for tomorrow.
Yeah, I briefly forgot that we're actually in the city, so I can't mount up. It was like highlighting my mount button, just like, why is that grayed out? The Red Emperor. Crowd tells me the forum made a rather momentous announcement. There's to be a great exodus, sir. I am reminded of my narrow escape from the Isle of Val. The realization, the running, mixture of relief and regret after. Why me, I asked myself. Why me? Why us? Why now? I wonder. There's no use fretting of the cosmic morality of, or lack thereof. I hear that we'll get through this together. And who knows? My luck will rub off and grant everyone a narrow escape. There's no harm in praying for as much. Oh, but enough of my rambling. Very exhausted. The chamber waits. Yeah, after dealing with Zodiac, we're just having like flashbacks of Amarat Hour. A visitor has come knocking at your door. Whoever could it be? Greta? Hello, hello. It is Greta here.
Oh, apologies. I didn't mean to. If you could spare a moment before bed.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. I fear this may be the last quiet night we have to talk for quite some time.
I'm gonna need to check up on this afterwards because I'm not sure if it might be a like click who you want.
Troubled of late. Unwarranted concerns, perhaps. I hope. Nevertheless, I feel compelled to share them with you.
Like, it might be a case of like you click someone and then they're the person that shows up. So I'll check up on that afterwards, if I remember.
Though you have bested your enemies thus far, Xenos and even Zodiac, your victories have come at a considerable cost to yourself. No one is without their limits, and you are no exception. I worry the added weight of the final days will prove more than you can bear. It is surely too much for any one man. But you needn't bear it alone. Let me share your burden. My, carrying capacity pales in comparison to yours, but I could still help. Shoulder the occasional satchel from your ever-growing mountain of, baggage. You have already done so much to help relieve me of mine own encumbrances. 'Tis only fair that I repay you in kind. Of course, it needn't be only troubles we share. Moments of joy may seem few and far between now, but there will come a time when we look back fondly on this journey. The inquiry at the Forum, our march through the snows of Garlemald, our impromptu dinner in this very room. All of it. And that is to say nothing of the journeys yet to come. To the ends of the world and beyond. But tomorrow will be no less busy than today, and I've kept you from your rest long enough.
Grahad's a good boy.
Sleep well, my friend.
You too, buddy. You too. So that kind of happened a short while earlier in the Alamecan Quarter. Happened in the Alamecan Quarter. An echo of Griffin show up. But Alamigo.
That tower is gone. The sight of it was enough to make me sick.
Thank the Ilsabar contingent, more like. Word is, they fought their way into Garlemald and toppled the bloody thing themselves. Not just the one, neither. All the towers have up and vanished.
Aye, I heard the same. Commander Aldin and his troops helped keep casualties to a minimum too. But is it true they brought back tempered Garlean soldiers?
As Commander Aldin tells it, they've a treatment for that now. But don't you worry. Cured or not, they've no plans to bring them into the city proper.
I see. Well, that's a relief then. I know we've brothers and sisters among the lot, but I can't say I'm eager to welcome them home.
Wanted to think about it for a while yet. They're to be looked after in Alagana for the time being.
What? That is a completely different effect than we've seen before. Like when it's people channeling darkness, that is usually like black and purple.
Another day, another commission of paramount importance.
That was black and white.
Well, what have we here? Hey, are you all right? Was that? No. The shadows play tricks, nothing more. The towers are gone, and the Garlean threat is abated. And yet, why does it feel as though it's about to get much, much worse?
That is concerning. As is that? I guess parts of the world are getting slowly consumed by whatever's kicking off. I've never been much a fan of jaw things. Right. Return to the room. Just something I need to do real quick. so we'll quickly restore that. Just glamour. What is it called? Here's that one. Should be all the way at the bottom. There. Nope, not that one. That one. I'll pop that in there as well because why not? Alright. Back with his mask. We're all good. Ooh, actually. Glamour plates. I don't even know what that set was for. But what we shall do is just grab that. Oh, actually it kind of matches the hat. Yeah, we'll just save that. And then what we do is we go Dragoon, link to glamour plate, that one, sword. And then if I'm in the main city, all that I need to do is just click that, double click that, and bam. This will be transmogged and those will be transmogged. Skies of flame. Oh, it's empty. I was just about to call for you. I'm afraid we've received another call for assistance. This one comes from Rats at Han. Oh. Definitely did not mean to click on that one. That is already going to be way past that. Hi Ruth. How you doing? I'm just going to grab a clip of that. Just a flying visit as you're off to the gym. No worries Ruth, no worries. Hope you have a good time at the gym. I'm doing good. There's been some events happen recently in game which are very concerning, and I'm not entirely sure as to what's caused them or what is actually happening with that, but yeah, very concerning stuff. Alright, there's something in the main hall to discuss the situation. You must join them at once. Okay. That's the bit that I missed. To the main hall. Oh no, I mean like story stuff. I've not like losing my account or anything. Ah, there you are. Our worst fears have come to pass, but moments ago we received grim tidings from our contacts at Rads at Hand. Wild beasts have appeared as if out of nowhere, claiming one victim after the next. What's more, they said the very sky burns above them. Good gods, are the final days already upon us? It would appear so. Sadly, that's all the information we have at present. No doubt the people at Rads at Han are busy fighting for their lives. We must go at once. They need our help. Yeah, catch you later, Ruth. Hope you have a good time at the gym. Make sure you don't punch too many people in the face, you know. Agreed, Krile. You'd best remain here with Tataru and gather what knowledge you can. We're in no condition for the long journey, I imagine. Very well. Similar phenomena may have been observed elsewhere. If so, we must know about it at once. See, this is why it's good having someone like Tataru, because Tataru has connections everywhere. You're safe up there, yes? Let's make first for Yedlamad. Let's prepare ourselves for what may lay ahead. Like, I think the closest I can think of... Yeah, I might as well just teleport. Yedlamad, there we go. The closest I can think to the effect that it had was that of the Sin Eaters.
And lo, vile beasts did rise. Leaving naught in their wake but blood and ash.
Christ.
Sun scorches earth and boils seas. And our sins ascend unto the heavens. 3 dooms to unmake all we were.
The sky burns. The final days are truly upon us.
My friends, I trust you have heard the news.
We have. What can you tell us of the situation, Your Excellency?
Last night, the Isle was rocked by tremors, and the earth itself cried out. Aloft, the heavens began to burn. From all about, unholy beasts, the likes of which we had never seen, came forth in fury and rage. No. To say they came forth would be inexact. The people of Radzat-Han themselves transformed into these baleful fiends.
It is like Sin Eaters, okay. It's just like Sin Eaters. Also, sorry about the clap out.
Observed throughout our lands. The first creature, the largest and most dreadful of the lot, wrought havoc upon us here in our fair city. Though they bear superficial resemblance to divinities of legend, they are ungodly abominations. The people decry them as blasphemies. The large one's rampage has since taken it to the northern reaches of the island. I mean to dispatch our radiant host in an attempt to quell the threat.
And what of Vritra?
Vritra too makes for the north of his own accord, and yet he knows the blasphemy and its minions were but yesterday his beloved people. I pray his boundless compassion and mercy does not deter him from taking unenviable but necessary action.
Understood. I ask that you allow us to aid you in quelling this threat.
You would risk your lives to help us yet again? I have no words to express my gratitude. Our regiments approach the north from several directions, with a number of units set to depart from the docks of Yedlamad. They will make landfall in an area of dense jungle, where one can expect to encounter dangers even beyond the fell beasts we hunt. I leave you to your preparation. You will find me at the docks when you are ready to depart.
Sorry, my brain's just running like a million miles a second. Is it maybe like people that got tempered by anima?
We're as prepared as we'll ever be. Let's go.
It sort of like left a seed in them, so even though they were detempered, they were still corrupted by it. And that has led to these people turning into what look like Void Sun. What they actually are, couldn't tell you. They look like Void Sun though. Like the Sorcerer's version of Cineas. And that's going to happen in literally every part of the map. So we've got some here. I don't know why we're all the way over here. Reds at heart. This is where we technically should be on the map. Yeah, we currently have them here in Reds at Heart. There will be some up here over here in Uthad, in Hingashi. We'll have some over by Sharlayan, we'll have some by Dravania, Kurthus, Lenosha. God, there's going to be so much to deal with here. We're essentially going to be fighting off against the Cineas that followed the flood on the first. Minus the flood. And it's just going to be rough. Everyone has assembled, yes? I thank you for lending your aid in our battle against the blasphemy. Let us review our plan of attack. I would have you board this boat and circle around to the north side of the island. There, you will find a dense jungle we call Vanaspati. It's a sacred wood, home to many temples and a number of villages. Ritra and the Radiant Host have gone there ahead of us. I ask that you join them, and do all in your power to destroy the blasphemy. Please be a dungeon, please be a dungeon, please be a dungeon, please be a dungeon. Yes! Yes! I like dungeons. It gives me a chance to get some stuff. Right, we'll just enter that. Best part about being a dungeon and not a trial is we don't have like 6-hour wait time. That's Vritra. All those Void Sun. Oh, those dudes literally just got changed. Yeah, what? Get rid of that ASAP. We can work on the rest of these. Alright, over there, Vito. Hate those things.
My friends, heed me. These are children of Thavner.
Not anymore.
Forgive me. I could do them no harm.
Sorry to be the one to tell you this, retread, but they ain't no more. Well, more than mindless horrors attempting to kill everything and anything.
You cannot stop us!
If this is the only way,
Yeah, sorry mate, too far gone.
I shall silence the beasts of the air. Pray continue onward.
I wonder if we're gonna have to fight any more pianos. Like we had to just before Mr. Hades himself.
My turn!
You underestimate me.
Right, I'm guessing we've got a boss coming up pretty soon. Watch out for fallen trees as well, I guess. Ouch.
I have you now.
My turn!
Genuinely, I think the idolizer might, sorry, the idolizer might be. They call me the idolator. The idolizer might be the worst of the two. Probably be a good idea to focus that thing out first. I don't know why I use that. Okay. Yeah, it looks like there's a boss right there. Where it opens up again. Sucks about the sacred forest, though. Alright, so this is pretty much just a case of them giving up hope, and that's the result of them giving up. Yeah. So basically you just go to the mouth that isn't talking, from the looks of it. This one's closed. Lost hope. Come on. Yeah, that's gonna suck. I need to get this done as quickly as I can. Because that misdirection is gonna suck. Oh god.
Let's give them a show.
Okay, that one's a misdirection one. Wonderful. I should dodge it briefly. Oh no. That's gonna suck. Because that's not there, that means that this way is the way to go. Again with the healing.
What is this vile presence I sense? The horde draweth near. Be on your guard.
A horse. Yeah, they are literally just giving up hope, and that's turning them. Should start having treasure chests appear now, because they usually start appearing after the first boss. What's really suck about this forest though? No. Oh dear. Right, I'll say you get an eyeball. Everyone gets battle enemy, and I get lance charge. Ooh, crikey. The issue with this is, this means that if we did evacuate just everyone straight up, this event could follow us to the next star we reach. It's legit the people that are turning. There'll definitely be something upsetting the etheric balance. The question is, what is upsetting the etheric balance? What doth cause this troubling occurrence? That is potentially a second boss there. It loves giving me healing. Feeling items. What does those look like? Alright. I'm guessing we just don't want to hit these. Oh no. Okay, now I understand what I need to do. Took me longer than it should have just then. So it's going to do Ether Siphon. Okay, so it goes from the land, then it'll be a knockback. Poison Heart.
You underestimate me.
Alright. I look forward to doing, like, going through these as like the other roles. And holy water, then it should siphon from the fire. Yeah, that took a while to actually give me the buff from the water, I think. Gonna be knockback. Oh, it's not the ground, it's water. Okay. I saw that was running through my head just then was die. Scouting. Kinda cool for hunt, I suppose. God, look at them all. Oh my Christ. That's what he meant when they said that the swarm was approaching, or the horde. That looks scary. I'm not even gonna lie. Like walking up of that rise and seeing that gave me a little bit of a fear pang. Did not appreciate it. really excited to see where the story is going to end up, though. If we manage to avert the final days, then I guess those rabbit people might come down to, I suppose the planet's called Etheris. I find Eosia much more, pretty cool. Yeah, I find Eosia much easier to remember. I'm guessing this will be like an angel demon mechanic, like in that lighthouse raid? Ridorana, was it? I guess that'd be a similar style mechanics to that. Listen to one head, don't listen to the other. Probably will be working out which one to. Unless it's just completely different to that, in which case, you know. Thancred. Thank you, Thancred. Here, have an eyeball. I'll be honest, I was expecting it to kind of be opening up like rifts into other planets. I wasn't expecting it to be essentially turning people into sin eaters. Well, that's not horrifying at all. Svabahanu. Or Svabanu. Nice of it to give me a hand across. I'm not even sorry. That was so dumb. Right, we do have squares, so I'm assuming that there'll be like a grid mechanic. Right, so we seem to be fine on this one. Oh, I see, so he'll have like a certain colour around him. Why is it a triangle? I don't have vulnerability, so I did whatever I did right. Or disruption. Yeah, it's only if it glows like red that we step onto the blue. Oh god.
I have you now.
I'd have been really sad if I'd been hit by like multiple. So we find out we'd just beat up the person that helped us with the amulets earlier. I don't remember what her name was. But we definitely just got something for that. It's kinda cool. It's not my usual style, but it's kinda cool. Oh, I like that. I do like that. I'll hold on to that. Actually, what do these look like? A Shamsha. Nice, nice. And not a fan of the weapons, but that tanking armor. Ooh. Now that looks very nice.
As I feared.
What is it?
The beast was there, and now it is no more. Yes?
Indeed. We saw it plain. But you didn't, did you?
I saw nothing. Not the blasphemy that perished here, nor the other men turned beasts. And because of this, I now see all too well. There is no ether. Where the creatures should be, I saw naught but emptiness.
Emptiness? But that would mean...
Recall the words of the Watcher. 'Twas a stagnancy of ether, a cessation of flow, leading to decay and absence, that led the ancients to conclude their star was dying. This is the same phenomenon. The instant these people are seized by the transformation, their ether begins to rot and crumble away like dried mud. Until, from their corporeal forms to their very souls, naught remains.
But the beast spoke with its dying breath. Surely at least a sliver of the man it was endured.
Mayhap so. But even if the process was incomplete, it was little more than a faint residue.
Gods be good. You're saying they cannot be saved?
Not by any means known to me. Or by any means at all, like as not. For there is naught left to save.
They return not even to the ethereal sea.
The beasts rage on, their hunger insatiable. Even deprived of their master, they perpetuate his legacy of hate. Once proud sons and daughters of Thavnir, all of them, and now I spill their blood.
Vitra, my friends, I am heartened to see you safe. You put your secret at risk. Those closest to me already know the truth. A truth I must now share with one and all. Vitra, calamity has come to Radzatan. Our fair nation is rent by screams of pain and despair. More than ever, we require a strong leader to shepherd us through the storm. Reveal your true self to our people, Vitra, and guide us to salvation.
What madness is this, I-One? Thou dost forget thyself. Were we to reveal our duplicity, it would do naught but foster confusion and chaos. Nay, I shall remain the Satrap's loyal ally, and do battle with the beasts. Easing hearts and leading the people to safety is thy task, and thine alone. I ask that you remain at Ahewan's side, and render unto him what aid you may. I know not what lies ahead, but without you, Radzatan will not survive.
Take me with you. I am as at home fighting in the air as I am on land. Take me with you.
Were my words unclear? I require no assistance. Thy place is at Ahewan's side.
Estinian, here. The last thing you ever wanted. A link pearl. You'll gain much from knowing your elevated perspective. And it'll keep you from getting lonely, which I know you loathe.
You heard the man. Seems I'm coming with you after all.
Then I pray thy grip is iron. Be it on thy head if thou dost chance to fall.
Fair enough. Now, shall we?
I like how stuff from the intro cinematic has shown up, but not in a way that the intro cinematic has actually spoiled events.
I fear it is as Vitra says. We will not survive this on our own. While I am loath to impose upon you again.
I would insist if you did not. 'Tis the very reason we have come.
Then once more I find myself without words to thank you properly. Let us return to the capital and plan our next course of action.
Like, they've basically told us events that were coming up without telling us events that are coming up. And I find that actually amazing. A radiant host has eliminated the immediate threat to our city. It pains me to know those beasts were once my own people. There is no telling when or where the next transformation may occur. We must remain vigilant, steel ourselves for whatever is yet to come. Not a fan of yellows. Okay. Forgive me, my friends, but I must return to Megaduta for the time being. There I can better manage this crisis, dispatch my troops as the situation demands. In that case, we shall carry out an investigation of our own here in the city. Mayhap the residents can tell us more about the first transformations, the conditions under which it occurred. If we can ascertain what exactly triggered these tragic events, it may give us something. It may give us some insight into possible solutions. Time is of the essence. Let's split up into 3 groups that we may cover more ground. Alice and I will seek to Pax's Path, Thancred and Ishtola, Premec to Dharma. I'll leave Arthur and Graha to you. Any information you can gather on the first blasphemy or manifestation, or the manifestation of the final days here in the city would be most beneficial. When we've completed our respective inquiries, let's reconvene in front of the Megaduta. We might share what we've learned with the Satrap. And then because we're actually in the city, I can go bam, sword. Shall we off them? Arthur is home to the High Crucible of the Alchemia, whose alchemist forms forged many of our walling scales. Sounds like a good place as any to begin our investigation, don't you think? I spoke briefly with Nuhadin, the chief alchemist here, on our last visit. She'd be happy to answer our questions. Yeah, now I'll just equip the other helmet. What we do is we do that, then we do that, which I thought I'd done previously. There we go, sorted. that one there, I'm guessing, is like a... crafting only quest. Like, I think in Shalian it might be gathering professions, but here it might be crafting. Or maybe they each have their own. Honestly, not a clue. Ah, looks amazing. Ah, I remember those red eyes. You're one of those scions who commissioned the scales from us, yes? I welcome you back to the High Crucible. What brings you here in these troubled times? We are assisting the satrap in investigating the crisis that plagues the city. You happen to catch a sight of any of the creatures? I did. As I was going about my work, I was disturbed by crashing footsteps so powerful the very ground shook. I rushed outside and could not believe what I beheld. The night sky was burning. Suddenly I heard a panic scream from the direction of Balshan Bazaar. In the next instant, a monstrous beast poked its head out from amidst the stalls. A handful of the Radiant rushed into the scene, only to be sent sprawling as the fiend and its minions propelled themselves skyward. So, the blasphemy came from the vicinity of the markets. This knowledge may prove useful. I thank you for sharing your tale. Well, I do believe we know where we should inquire next. To the bazaar, then. Thank you. With me, Graha. With me. I do appreciate that we get to take Grahatia around with us. Because we were like... Sorry, I just have to click on this. And all land, level 80 or above. Okay, cool. I can't do that on this character, I don't think. No. Close. So this is a Thavnarian weave. I must say it bears a resemblance to the traditional fabrics of Korvos. Small wonder really, given it's just across the water. Not very much of an expert in Korvosi culture, of course. I've had the occasion to visit my ancestral home since coming to Shalian. And like as not, I will never reside there again. That said, in recent days I've felt more acutely aware of my heritage, and grateful for it. Thanks to my forebears, I inherited the royal eye, and with it, the wisdom of ancient Alec. And so, well, I simply hope that my countrymen are safe. And one day, when this calamity is all but a memory, it's but a memory, I would like to see Korvos again. Only once. Forgive me, but my shop's closed until further notice. Needless to say, we've more pressing concerns these days. We've not come in search of wares, but information concerning the enormous fiend that tore through the bazaar. Do you perchance witness anything? Afraid not, my friend. I was here the whole time, so I only saw its little minions. It made a mess of the place, it did. While that was going on, the great big one tore through the west side of the bazaar. You'd have better luck asking there. Fair enough. I'm assuming they're probably waiting for someone. Yeah, for things like tearing through this place, it seems remarkably untorn through. Something the matter, traveller? If you're lost, perhaps I could be of assistance. Your offer is most appreciated, but we're not lost. We are not lost, but we are in need of information. Don't you know anything about the gargantuan beast that rampaged through the bazaar? I saw it. Oh, wish I had not. I was going about my work when all of a sudden a piercing scream cut through the air. Turned around and there was the fiend. Massive body bursting through the entryway with the force of a tidal wave. And then it was gone as quickly as it came. Sisters have mercy. What's happening to the world? What am I to do? There's nowhere safe. Settle down, friend. The danger is past. At least for now. It's not too painful to remember. Can you tell us what you saw? First I heard the screams. The horde of ravening beasts came charging towards us. One of them was huge, bigger than Marid. Throwing people around like ragdolls, and it was eating them. I hid on the counter, saw others do the same. The shrieking and the wailing kept getting louder. More voices in the throng. The beasts saw victims I couldn't tell. I knew not what was happening. I still don't. That's enough, my good man. You were brave to share with us your tale. Many of your fellow merchants are safe. The High Crucible too has survived mostly unscathed. Pray stay close to your friends and loved ones. Rest your body and mind while you're able. I suspect that this is the most we can expect from the people here to tell us. I think it best we find a place outside the bazaar where we might rest and review our findings. Yeah. Judging by their accounts, the transformation had already occurred in the time by the time the beast reached the bazaar. Tore through the west side of the bazaar. Oh, sorry about that. Headed towards the Aetheryte Plaza. In other words, the blasphemy may have appeared in this vicinity. That being the case, the people in the Mehan surely tell us more. If it went straight for the Aetheryte Plaza, it was definitely trying to eat that Aetheryte. I've been going straight up to supplement this ether. Because, as mentioned, they were devoid of ether. Going after that enormous beast, are you? Ah, I saw it. The very instant that poor Leap transformed. And the gods for putting me there. Started over there, by the window. The men, merchants, probably. Talking and drinking. Conversation must have taken a turn for the worst. Next thing I know, their leader, I suppose he was, raised his head in his hands. A black mist was swirling about him. Then his whole body bursts apart. There stands a hideous, slavering beast. Massive and foul, gaping maws and bulging eyes. His friends start shrieking and black mist comes again. Until the change takes them too. Stuff and nightmares, I tell you. Nightmarish indeed. Incidentally, do you perchance know who those merchants were? No, I'm a decorator by trade. I'm not much cause to mingle with their sort. So, merely love the barmaid chatting with them, though. You might know something. Oh. Pardon me. I was just... Anyway, take a seat wherever you like. We're open for business as usual. That is... kind of accurate, not gonna lie. Even after repairing all that damage, it'll take a while for business to pick up again. You mean the blasphemy? That's what the Radiant's been calling it, anyway. You saw it too? I saw it too. We all did. I was standing here at the counter as Marie poured me a drink. Suddenly there came this dreadful sound, like a pained, angry groan. It was unlike anything I've ever heard. I turned around in shock, and from over this black cloud of mist rose the creature, enormous and ghastly to behold. Guess what happened next? Well, it sends shivers down my spine. By some stroke of fortune, I was able to slip outside before the beast got its claws into me. The sight that greeted me offered no solace. Blue sky above turned red as blood. Marie, myself, and the other survivors clung to each other for dear life until the Radiant host came to our aid. Wait, did I hear you correctly? The beast manifested before the sky began to burn? I'm certain of it. The windows here offer a clear view of the sky, and I saw nothing out of the ordinary until the beast appeared and began to rage. Maybe it is exactly like Cinea's, so we need to find the Light Warden. Or the other thing that is essentially the Light Warden. If we find the strongest one and take that one out. Oh, but if we do that, we might end up like doing the whole wah and like absorbing the thing. Oh, that could be bad. That could be really bad. Oh, hello. Welcome to Marit's Mehan. What can we get you? We've not come for libations, but rather information. You are Milil, yes? We're investigating the so-called blasphemy in the Satrap's behalf. We hear it was one of your customers, a merchant that first underwent transformations. What can you tell us about him? He was something of a regular here, especially of late. Kalzal was his name. He ran his own consortium, dealing primarily in the exports of Thavnarian supplies. Not Kalzal. Oh, I remember him. I tried selling fish. Through him we met Matsia. Yes, the names ring a bell. Did you meet them both on your first trip to Thavnar? If I recall correctly, Kalzal ran a trading operation in Yedlimad. It was there you made Matsia's acquaintance. Yes, that's the same Kalzal, no doubt. A rather successful man from what I gather. That said, it was clear he had fallen on hard times of late. Those ghastly towers popping up everywhere can't have been good for business. Even now, with the towers gone, the collapse of the Empire led to all sorts of problems elsewhere. The market for luxuries is surely not what it once was. Trying times for the head of the trading consortium indeed. Kalzar was a compassionate man. Oh, Kalzar was a compassionate man. Even as his own business suffered, he did what he could to provide for the artisans, fishermen, and others who counted on him to sell their wares. Indeed, that was the very topic of yesterday's meeting, as far as I could hear. Yet, as they discussed matters further, Kalzar's tone grew grave and grim. It was then that forgive me. I would not have you recall a memory if it brings you pain. If I could, I would ask just one more thing. Did you notice anything unusual about Kalzal in particular? Please, anything at all? Sorry, nothing springs to mind. Perhaps someone else can help you. Kalzal lived for his work, and had no family that I know of. His employees and associates knew him best, but they too are lost to us. Still, perhaps his neighbours knew something I do not. I could direct you to them, if you believe it would help. What do you say? Kalzal made his home in Karma, a nearby residential area. From what I gather, Kalzal lived there since childhood and was known throughout the neighborhood. The name is new to me. How do we get there? I'll write down some directions. I cannot promise that you'll find what you seek there, but if nothing else, it's a start. Come, let's see where the lead takes us. Let's see, after leaving Mihan, retrace our steps and head back towards the Aetheryte Plaza. Alrighty. Yeah, I was thinking of doing like a longer stream today, and I'll be honest, with all the reading I've done so far, I'm kind of thinking no. From here we ascend the stairs. Alright, but before that I need to check if I can actually attune to this now. Temporarily disabled, okay, never mind. Oh, I guess we don't yet. Alright, so we go up and around. Eesh. Ah, this must be Yush, in which case we should take the path leading southeast. Ah, it's this one that is. Where do we go now? We're head here. Keep walking this way, we should arrive in Karma before long. Walking these unfamiliar streets is quite an adventure, is it not? Well, I hope we can explore roads at hand at our leisure once this crisis has passed. Yeah, hopefully. And this must be Karma. Right at last. Begin questioning the residents without delay. No doubt someone here can tell us about the Kalzal. Given recent events, I imagine many are taking shelter indoors. Hello? Hello? Right, we'll just attune to this and then we'll go checking like inside buildings and stuff. Starting with this one. If this is actually one that we can go inside. Which it looks like it might be. Kazal, you say? Yes, I've known him since he was a boy. If there was ever a man who was born to be a merchant, it was him. Always early to depart and late to return. Spent his days procuring the finest wares and seeking out willing customers. So it came to him as easy as breathing. Sadly, business was flagging of late. No surprise, really, what with how dangerous travel has become. He was cooped up in his house from dawn till dusk the other day. Went out wrecking his brain for a way to turn his fortunes around. Then at night, I heard the door open. I looked out to see Kazal sitting on a bench, his head hung low. A man with the weight of the world on his shoulders. I see. The situation must have been quite dire indeed. Did you notice anything else out of the ordinary? Nothing to speak of, other than the troubles with his consortium. The same old Kazal. Cordial and honest, like always. These questions you're asking. Has something happened to him? He wasn't caught up in the terrible incident at the bazaar, was he? I don't travel much these days, but my daughter told me not to venture outside. Stuck in here as I am, I've heard little about the bizarre events going on. Rest assured, the city is safe for now, but the situation may change without warning. I urge you, stay close to your daughter, and be prepared to take refuge should the satrap order it. Yeah, this is rough. You come back another time? I just woke up and I'm not exactly in the mood for idle chit-chat. Well, that's one way to avoid the panic, I suppose. But no intrusion. You may have noticed, but a great danger has come to Thavna. I encourage you to stay alert. I'm prepared to flee the city should the situation turn dire. But before we leave you in peace, pray allow us to ask a question or two. Do you know of a local merchant named Kazal? If so, did you notice anything unusual about him recently? Kazal? Aye, I know him. In fact, we spoke just the other day. Like many others, his business was doing poorly. Still, it seemed as though he'd managed to turn things around. So a generous order from Ruveda Fibers. Why, he was practically dancing in the streets. I haven't spoken with him since, but I assume all went well. Ina Baha might be able to tell you more, though. As I recall, he was the one who brokered the arrangement. Gina Baha, Ruveda Fibers. This sounds promising. It's just gonna be like, oh yeah, I got told to buy them, and then the person that asked me to buy them never actually gave me the money for it. So I had to let him know that we had to cancel the order. Too many stairs, in my opinion. I shall just be a second, actually. I'm just going to try and find something out. Wow. So over the past like 3 hours I've managed to do like 8 quests. One of which being a dungeon quest. Hurry, I say. There's no time to waste. Hello. Oops. Did not mean to click that. Right, this is where we go, the clip thing. And we want to be really close to the end of the clip, I think. No, we don't want to be near really close to the end. We want to be about 12. And bam, there we go. Pardon me, but you're in charge of buying and selling here, yes? We have a few questions that we'd like to... I'm sorry, but I simply don't have the time to chat. If you haven't noticed, we have our hands full at the moment. We must carry all our wares and equipment to safety before those accursed beasts return. In that case, might we be of assistance? Perhaps we could speak when the job is done. Very well. We can start by helping us move our equipment. Ask the others to put... ask the others what to put where. And you can carry our fabrics. Go through that door, speak with Kamala. She'll tell you the rest. Remember, these textiles are our livelihood. Handle them with care. This area is for employees only. Out! Out! What's that? You've come to help? Oh, praise be to Minerva. Kind stranger, I welcome your assistance. On your way here you pass 3 storehouses, yes? I'd like you to carry that small crate to Nabadif House? By the storehouse near the hatchery. The crate of clothing is for Manuha, and that massive crate goes to Zemira by the middle storehouse. Watch your back with that one. Those are all the crates we have ready, but once they've been delivered, consider your work here complete. Alright. Right, I do not have a clue where I'm supposed to actually been taking these. Oh. Red is it? They've come to the right place. We thank you for your aid. That's the last one to deliver. Oh. Fair enough. We have the crates of finished products such as carpets, clothing and the like. We bring them here to our primary storehouse. Crate of clothing, is it? You can take that off your hands. Many thanks for the delivery. This one's gonna suck. Blood bearing. Alright, cool. I say, you've quite the brawny one, aren't you? Good thing, that. Never know when you need to defend yourself in these unprecedented times. Crate full of fabrics, is it? Exactly what I was hoping to receive. Here, let me put that away for you. You've carried all the crates to the storehouse, as you say? And so quickly, too. Why, I've never seen anyone so strong. I and my associates will see to the rest. Please, return to Jinabaha, and show him our work is proceeding apace. To tell the truth, we're grateful for this distraction. Many terrible happenings of late. But generous souls like yourself give me hope that we may emerge from this trial even stronger. I pray we meet again in more peaceful times. I'm wondering if, like, because basically for what we know of ethereal everything was composition, you can't have an entity existing without ether, but you should have said there was no ether in it, so maybe it was sustained by the other force. Like the one that I mentioned with, like, you know, when emotions are running high, there's that other force that isn't ether, like something else. I don't remember what they called it. But maybe they're sustained by that. As I asked of you. If Kamala is satisfied with your work, then so am I. The great fate of a traveller. I too have delivered the instruments and apparatus entrusted to me. You both have my thanks. With our wares safely stored away, we'll not lose any time to those fiends. I take it that your establishment did not escape the attacks unscathed. We did not. Thankfully, most of our workers had already left that day, but those of us still here saw it all. We looked at the burning skies in confusion, and then, before we could even make sense of it, a hideous creature burst through the doors, shrieking. We ran for our lives, but one of my colleagues was not so fortunate. Cried out, a scream of such agony, such terror. The next instant he too sprouted fearsome claws. The sight of it caused another fellow to panic, and then he too transformed. So it's spreading by fear. Sorry, there was something you wanted to ask? Indeed, you knew the merchant Kalzal, did you not? I believe he had some dealings with your establishment. Kalzal? I knew him well. We'd arranged for his consortium to deliver a large shipment of fabrics, but in the end we received a better offer and had to turn him down. I understand his business is struggling, but so is ours. Another of our most reliable trading partners agreed to transport the goods for a much smaller commission, but we'd have been forced to refuse. I felt terrible for withdrawing the offer, but you must understand we simply had no choice. He tried to put on a brave face when I delivered the news, but his dejection and despair were plain as day. He said he'd discuss it with his associates, but I could tell he'd given up all hope. Dejection and despair. Remember what we saw in Vanspati, yes? Soldiers and jungle dwellers pushed to the very brink, turning into beasts one after the next. It seemed that the same phenomenon occurred here. The poor craftsmen attacked by the fiends, as well as those that witnessed it, all undergoing the change. I suspect that everything began with Kalzal. By all accounts, it was he who suffered the most profound and piercing despair. Wait, could that be it? At such intense emotions were what triggered his transformations? It remains unclear, but I believe we are drawing closer to an answer. At any rate, we must discuss our findings with the others. We were to reconvene with the others at the front of Megaduta, were we not? Should be just outside. With any luck, they will have just returned with from their own investigations. My friends, we must take our leave. I pray your establishment is spared for the tragedy. But remember, your lives are far more precious than any wares. If you are ordered to flee, do so without hesitation. Indeed, I thank you for your concern. I pray you too take care as well. Right, I've got a feeling, because these are all scared peoples, understandably so, given the circumstances, that these might all turn. Feels like a voiced one.
There you are. You've spoken with the survivors.
Indeed. We thought to share what we have gleaned, that we might together gain a greater understanding of present circumstances.
Fortuitous timing. Alize and I completed our own investigations not long ago.
Then we should take a moment to compare notes. Shall we begin with the two of you?
Basically, it seems to be spreading by fear. Fear and despair. Fear, despair and hopelessness. The dread.
So the merchant Karzal was gravely concerned about his business in the days preceding his untimely end.
The tales we heard were much the same. The first victims to be changed into blasphemies were all overcome with anguish of one manner or another. Then those who saw their loved ones stolen before their eyes succumbed to a similar panic, setting in motion a chain of transformations.
Fear, unease, despair. These negative feelings serve as a catalyst.
If so, then it is not unlike the calamity that befell the ancients. With their creation magics, they unwittingly gave form to untold horrors. Had they simply lost control, surely it would have manifested in many forms, not all of them monstrous. Yet somehow, this phenomenon is triggered solely by the darkness in their hearts, a common thread with what we now witness.
Common, but not identical. While the beasts the ancients faced were forged with magic alone, those of today are born of sentient beings. Why remains to be seen. But there is one fundamental difference between us and our predecessors. Our souls are sundered, whereas theirs were not. Perhaps that single variable makes all the difference.
If I may, there was another detail that troubled me. We have it on good authority that Karzal's transformation took place before the skies began to burn.
What? If that's true, then the situation's more dire than we realized. It means even if there's no ominous sign presaging the final days, anyone, anywhere, has the potential to become a beast. Even in lands we thought safe, even as we speak.
Such as this scared.
Look! It's the Satrap! The Satrap!
Thank the heavens.
So we need people like this guy to keep the hope going.
My countrymen, I am relieved and heartened to see you strong and safe. While the danger has not yet passed, far from it, allow me to assure you that the beasts that raged within the city walls have been exterminated to the last. Outside this sanctuary, the brave men and women of the Radiant Host and our dragon ally continue to battle our unholy foes. I pray these tidings put your minds at ease and help you calm your hearts. Have faith that we shall soon conquer this terrible trial.
Your Excellency, is there any word from Palaka's stand? My grandson was bound for there yesterday and I worry for his life.
We are still awaiting a report, but I promise you, as soon as I have aught to share...
Your Excellency, I bring grave news.
Oh dear.
You are?
I'm Matya of Akyali, a humble fisherman.
Ah, I remember you from our first visit.
Wait, you're... But no, that can wait. When the skies turned red, I set off for Palaka's stand, fearing for the safety of a friend. But as I drew near the village, I saw dreadful beasts all about.
No! Gods have mercy! Your Excellency! Save my grandson, I beg of you!
We will spare no effort to save all we can, but you must remain calm.
Calm? You tell me to be calm? You saw those beasts? They tore our bravest warriors limb from limb! What if we are too late, huh? They catch him, sink their fangs into him? The fangs! The screams!
Get away from her, now!
It is exactly like the Sanitas.
Damn it! We've got to kill them before it spreads.
We'll handle this. See the townspeople to safety.
Run as fast as you can! Ah! 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 No! Ah! Ah!
I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh. I shouldn't laugh, but that was kind of funny.
must save them. My son.
Enough! You must run. For their sake and your own.
Well, calm down. Just calm down.
You will survive. You must.
That was a weird noise.
Be strong, my friends! Fear not, for we will defeat these abominations! Brave men and women of the Radiant Host, lend your Stola and Thancred your aid. Let not a single beast escape. The rest of you, flee this place. Carry the wounded if you must. Head indoors or underground. Above all, stay calm. No beast will follow you. We will see to that.
Alphino! Alizé! Leave the city to us, and make for Palaka's stand at once! Matsya, show my friends to the village! I promise you, they're more capable than the host's finest!
Right! Go with them, will you? We will save these people, as many as we can.
We must save Palaka's stand, whatever it takes. Matia, it pains me to put you in harm's way, but I'd ask of your aid as well. Of course, Palaka's stand is not far, just down that hill. But as I told His Excellency before, the path was blocked by terrible creatures. I had no choice but to turn back. In that case, this is what we shall do. Someday I ask that you take the lead and dispatch any beast you encounter. Alizé and I will keep Matia hidden amidst the trees, and follow when the path is clear. There's no telling what dangers await us. Keep your eyes peeled. I wonder what it actually is that's causing it then. Okay, I think that was the Bloody's grandson. That one was like grand. Companion, distance. I don't remember what they called it. There was like another force that was tied to immersion, and I think it's maybe some sort of a corruption in that, which is causing it to spread out. To other people. Can it be? We must heal those we can, and quickly. I see no beasts, but stay on guard. So the collapsed one. Yeah, no, those two are fully dead. You did as well. The village's injuries do not appear to be life-threatening. It does not respond to your efforts. His breathing grows more ragged and shallow. His vacant eyes are those of a man who has lost the will to live. Even if I wake, the nightmare goes on. No. Leave me to sleep. Call out, but the man does not respond. Have you come to help us? Late. Too late. My family. My friends. Are these the only villagers who survived? I can only hope the others managed to flee. If the rest have turned into beasts, we're the 12. Let's do what we can to see that the damage spreads no further. And no matter what comes, we must keep our spirits high lest we ourselves suffer a similar fate. I can tend to the rest. Pray look after Matsia. I doubt what we have seen here weighs even heavier on his heart than ours. We've got thunder now as well. I suppose it is literally just listed as apocalypse. Oh, it's empty. It's empty. This is Yerovid, the elder here. He's hurt, but praise be to the sisters, he still lives. Young Matsia here has told me everything. I have not words to express my gratitude for your aid. The heavens began to burn, we were afraid. We did our best to carry on as we've always done. Till today, and those unholy beasts came pouring into our village. Blood of midnight and death. No words to describe what followed. Men and women I've known since they were babies struck down by the creatures, only to rise again to join the murderous horde. The guise of those same hideous fiends. In chaos, a handful of our villagers fled for their lives. Only hope they have found their way to safety. What's here? You perchance remember Kerasaf and Mervan? A couple who always brought you a freshest catches. How could I forget, Elder? When I first came to peddle my wares, desperate to eke out a living, they showed me such kindness. Others shunned me as an outsider, as they did. As is their way. But Kerasaf and Mervan bought my fish and sung its praises. They turned my fortunes around. Alas, as I fear, they are in terrible danger. I saw them running towards Agama Temple, with those beasts in close pursuit. They had their child, still but a tiny babe. To elude those fiends while caring for one so young is an impossible task. Surely, I beg you, go to their aid. I want to help them, yet I am but a fisherman. I don't face beasts on my own. Will you come with me? Oh, thank you. Agama Temple lies to the west of here. We must hurry. I've got a really bad feeling about this. I have a really bad feeling. You know, I can I can kind of see why some people have needed to take like little breaks from this. Because the story is painful. The temple is just ahead. It was built by those who worship Saint Agama, but has sadly fallen into disrepair in recent years. My friends made it this far. No doubt they are hiding somewhere amidst the ruins. Oh, please, stay back. That was Kerasaf. No, this is not good. Take a look. Please do. The cry came from the ruins. You must hurry. Yeah, now they're dead, but if not all, then at least one is dead. Tried to click on them first. It's like there's more pressing matters at hand. Man lies motionless on the ground, and a grievous wound. Sorry, I tried staying behind, but I couldn't. No, can it be? Someone. Is there someone anyone. My arms so heavy. My legs. I don't feel my legs. My wife. I fled with her daughter. I need to find them. I need to be with them. Kedasef. No, Kedasef, you must stay strong. What time? All they had. I don't want to die. I'll speak with them. Thank you. Find them. Mivan still lives, and she has her child. We must now search the jungle between here and Palakistan. There's nowhere else she could have gone, I think. Forgive me, Kedasef. Once we have saved your wife and child, we'll return to lay you to rest. Please tell me they're okay. No tracks or other signs of recent travel. Within the child must be elsewhere. Probably quick to hop on. Please tell me they got away. The van and the daughter came through this area recently. I see no evidence of the passage. I'm thinking it was the first two that were attacking him. see any sign of them? I found nothing. The beast chased them farther from the village. Gods above, I beseech you. Pray deliver Mivan and her little one to safety. Oh, the skies above Thev now.
No more enemies to trouble us here. It's me. How fare you below? Understood. I will inform Vritra. Chaos and panic sweep Razat Han, and many more have succumbed to the transformations. Amidst the fray, Ahawan fell, protecting a grief-stricken father. My friends fight alongside your Radiant host to secure the capital. Beasts have been sighted in Palakistan as well. We have divided our forces in hopes of quelling the threat there. Of small solace is that we now know what triggers the transformation. As my companions tell it,
So it is the very fear and despair in their hearts which inflicts this abhorrent punishment upon them. A nightmare from which my children will never awake. O capricious and cruel fate, they are undeserving of such condemnation.
will you wallow in sorrow or rise to the occasion? Razat Han is leaderless. Before he passed, Ahawan sought to reveal the truth to his people. Honor his wishes.
To what end? To breed a new conflict between dragon and man. These claws could reduce thee to shreds with a touch. These jaws crush thy bones to dust. Only through my proxy could I walk with my children. Without him, I am a bringer of fear, no different from the beasts which beleaguer them.
Perhaps so. Only in death were Hraesvelgr and Shiva united. Indeed, whenever man and dragon have come together, death has ever been the inevitable result. It was our fear of your kind that sparked a nigh-endless war. Fear and hate of which Nidhogg drank deep as he laid waste to my homeland. And in turn, I took my revenge on his brood. Blood for blood, pain for pain. I thought nothing of theirs, only of mine. And yet, were the chasm between us too vast and too deep, Hraesvelgr would not have borne Isael to battle and our rescue. He would never have entrusted a mortal champion with one of his eyes. And the Dragonsong War would still rage on. And I would still wage a never-ending war of violence and vengeance. The future of our star be damned. I cannot speak for Ahawan's greater goals. Yet I know that he served you, served your people, long and true. In this time of unprecedented crisis, he turned to you. You could do worse than to place your trust in him. It will not be easy, but the future of Razat Han hangs in the balance. We have company. The hour has come, Vritra! It's all or nothing!
Looking at the time, we're going to end it there. I shall see if anyone else is live that I can send y'all over to. It is looking like that is a no. So I'm just going to end stream here. I'd like to say thank you for everyone for lurking. Thank you, Ruth, for chatting. And I shall catch you next time. Bye now.